Hello, my friends. How are you? First, we had YouTuber pet stories. Absolute slapperino classic. Then, we had YouTuber childhood fears. Absolute slapperino! But now, we have a new concept that I'm very, very, very excited for. People, today, we are going to be looking at parent stories. Ugh, I like it when the world was less bright. Okay. Parent stories! Newsflash to anyone who isn't aware of this. If someone grows up to become a YouTuber, they probably had some weird parents. I hate to burst anyone's bubble, but yeah, I don't think a lot of us had normal parents. The odd ones out. Jaiden animations. TimTom! All of these legends have stories to tell about their parents. Today we're taking a deep dive into parent stories, and this one's gonna be a real ripper. So strap in, get yourself a little snack, get yourself some water, and kick your parents out of the room.
Get out of my room and play Minecraft!
I'm just kidding. If there's any parents watching, I'm just kidding. You're cool, and I appreciate you. All right, I was thinking, let's just start it with the king himself. This is a little too crazy for the beginning. The odd ones out. Let's start with the odd ones out. My mom's cruel and unusual punishments. And oh boy, I'm really excited to check it out. And so we're gonna do that right now. People, are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go, friends.
Mr. James, on Saturday morning at 10:03 a.m., you were observed coloring a picture of a dinosaur. Is that true?
That's messed up.
Yeah? Can we go to recess?
Even though your mom had repeatedly asked you to clean up your toys, you disobeyed her and colored anyway?
That's messed up, dude.
I plead the fifth.
Your Honor, I have no further questions. James, I hereby sentence you to 15 minutes in the timeout corner.
I'm not going back to timeout!
I'm no scientist, but I think moms play a very important role in society.
Yeah.
Without moms, who would drive us to soccer practice? Who else would tell us that it's not okay to eat cupcakes for breakfast? And who else would point at construction workers and say, that's why you need to get a college education, James?
Every single dad watching this is not feeling very seen right now, and I want to take a moment to let the world know you ain't gotta be a mom to drive Billy to soccer practice. Dads can do that too. Brothers can do that. I'm not the stepdad who drove my kid to soccer practice. I'm the soccer dad who stepped up.
That's why you need to get a college education, James. Oh, and I guess they also give birth to you and take care of you, but like, anyone could do that. Now, before I talk about how I was raised, I just want to give out this disclaimer that my mom is a great mom. She loves me. At least, she used to. If you asked me when I was 15 if my mom was a good mom, 15-year-old me would have said, no. Okay, but like, when I was little, I'd be talking with my friends, and we would be talking about our parents, and they would say stuff like, yeah, my mom lets me stay up till midnight, and she lets me play really graphic and vulgar video games. Yeah, my mom doesn't care if I wear clothes with skulls on them. And she lets me eat an entire tub of ice cream for dinner. My mom lets me play with knives. And I used to think that their mom...
We have a bit of, we have a little bit of a range here. If your mother lets you play with knives, you gotta find a new mother. That's not a good thing. That's not something to be jealous of. You're probably already dealing with severe psychological damage. So if your mother lets you play with knives, run.
And I used to think that their moms were so much cooler for letting my friends have that much fun. But now, as an adult, I realized the sad truth that these kids' moms weren't cooler. They just cared about them less. I'm not saying every mom out there is perfect, but a mom who takes the time to make a responsible member of society is pretty high up on the good mom list. Anyways, I love you, Mom, and now I'll immortalize and monetize some of that love. Yeah. When I was younger and still in need of adult supervision, my mom would take me and my twin sister out to run errands with her. And as you would expect, we were rowdy and wanted to do our own thing. But my mom was prepared for this. She would bring 2 plastic baggies filled with 10 M&Ms, and every time my sister or I misbehaved, she would eat an M&M right in front of us. And she made sure we saw her eat our M&Ms. She didn't give us a warning either. If we did anything remotely bad, she would say, hey, look at me.
Hey, cruel and unusual punishment. More like cool and unusual punishment. What a great idea. Because then you're not punishing... Sorry, Dad RobertIDK is coming through. I'm not a dad, but... This is how you know I'm gonna be ill. Yeah, you're not punishing your kid. You're just giving they have a reward or an incentive to be well behaved. And then if they aren't well behaved, you aren't punishing them. You're just taking away that reward. Oh, that's brilliant. Come on, guys. Free M&Ms. Come on.
And I think that parenting technique is the psychological reason that M&Ms are my favorite candy bar.
Oh.
I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. Something me and my sister really like doing was hiding in those circular racks of clothes that they have set up in department stores. Being in the middle of one of those racks is such a surreal experience. I totally recommend it. But my mom didn't like it when we had fun, so she had to reach her arm in and try and grab us. Do you need any help? Oh, no, I'm just trying to get something in the back. There's a really nice belt that would be great for spanking my misbehaving children. I was spanked as a kid. Nothing too bad. I probably deserved it anyway. I don't remember any specific actions I did that earned a spanking, but I do remember outrunning my mom a lot. Another thing my mom did when I was very little was sometimes when she was washing her hands, she would turn to me and go, achoo, and flick water in my face.
What?
It really bothered me, but I never spoke out about it.
That's messed up.
And one day I just couldn't handle it anymore and I started crying. Why are you crying? But I was too sad to articulate how I was really feeling.
It's just the water and the mom and the water thing. Jeez, James, I was just trying to have some fun with water and my kids.
If you ask her about this today, she'll say that she doesn't remember doing that sneeze gag ever, but I remember it. Vividly. So to get back at her, I put a rubber band around the dish sprayer so when you turn on the sink, it would spray water at you.
Oh, wow.
When you think of it, I do remember one reason I was spanked. Every time one of my siblings insulted another sibling or told them to shut up, we would have to pay them 50 cents. This resulted in a really weird dynamic when it came to insults. We would get excited when someone called us a name. Mom,
what?
You called me a butthole! That's 50 cents. Woo! I'm rich!
That's so weird. Yeah, that is how you accidentally create an incredibly strange dynamic, an incredibly strange response to mistreatment. You get rewarded for being mistreated. That's horrible.
But sometimes us kids would just be messing around with each other and we didn't really mean the insults.
So we would feel bad taking someone else's 50 cents. Like someone would say, hey, James, what's 6 plus 6? And I would say, 9, idiot. And my mom would hear me and say, James, that's 50 cents. And my sister would feel bad, so she would insult me back and say, James, you're an unpleasant person. Aw. Swear words cost you $5. That's
oh my gosh! This dude. This is why they pay you the big bucks, James. This is why they pay you the big bucks. Brilliant writing, okay? So if y'all ain't got it by now,
you just ain't getting it.
I'm creating an animation channel and I'm writing my own animations. Out of everyone that I have watched, I think James is possibly the best writer out of everyone. The way he tells stories is just so to the point, but also articulate and funny. Anyways, sorry, back to the sillies.
Unpleasant person. Aw. Swear words cost you $5. That's why I don't swear in videos.
Ooh.
But now I can afford it. So, you,
don't
Mom.
do it.
You piece of My mom never washed her mouths out with soap. She wasn't that kind of person, but she did threaten to if we swore. And one time after I said a pretty naughty word,
oh, stinky.
She said, if you don't behave, I'm going to get the soap. And I said, I don't care. Soap tastes good.
What?
All right, you big dingus, shove this in your mouth. You don't do it, no balls. So I bit into it and immediately regretted it. Now people...
Yeah, I had the same thing. My mom always came with the threats of the soap, and I was terrified of that, so I never swore. And the language restrictions in my home were very, very strict. And I think that's why I'm so good at not saying bad words in my videos, because I had to practice this from a very young age, okay? But yeah, the soap threat was always there, and it never happened, and I'm glad it never happened, because there's a word for that.
I immediately regretted it. Now people are eating soap for views. So I guess we never grow up. Did anyone else's parents put a password on the family computer? Because my parents did, and I didn't know we were the only family that did that. We had a rule in the house that we were only allowed to be on the family computer for however long we read a book for.
Wow.
But luckily, I would just read a book for 15 minutes, get my mom to type in the password, and then she would just forget that I was on the computer, and let me stay on for hours. And I played a lot of Neopets and RuneScape. Also, I wasn't allowed to have a TV or a computer in my room, because then I would have easy access to inappropriate
Stuff.
animes. When I was little, cell phones were a thing, but my mom didn't let me have one, so I had to talk to all my friends over a landline. I hope I don't have to explain what that is, because that would make me feel really old, and I'm supposed to be in the prime of my life.
Hey, how old is this video? This video is like 6 years old or something? Yeah, this video is 6 years old. Yeah, there are gonna be even more people who don't know what a landline is now. And anyone who is young enough to question this, I will let you know, yes, we had a landline at my house. Used it until I was like 18. Only one person can talk on the phone at a time. And I experienced dial-up internet at one point. If you ain't know what dial-up internet is, oh boy.
Prime of my life. But basically it meant if I was upstairs in my room talking to a friend, my mom could grab a phone downstairs in the kitchen and just join in our conversation completely uninvited. Didn't matter who I was talking to, I'd be having a conversation like this. I think the reason I internalize and hide away all my problems is because of how invasive my mom is in my personal life.
James, get off the phone and do the dishes.
Mom, I'm on the phone!
Wow, I can't believe you said that to the person who gave birth to you. So what are you two losers talking about?
Luckily, I would almost never be talking to a girl.
Yay.
Or at least, that didn't happen.
This other time, my mom was giving me and my sister a ride to school, and on the radio, she was listening to the worst subgenre of rock music, Christian rock.
Oh.
Just kidding, you can like whatever you want.
Hey, real quick, I gotta respect to my boys, Reliant Kate. Hawk Nelson used to be really good too. And then if you want to get into Christian metalcore, we got Under Oath, The Devil Wears Prada, and a few others I can't remember. Does James realize that the metal song that he played in the other video was a Christian metal band? Yeah, Under Oath, that's a Christian band, brother. This is Christian music too. So yeah, you know, your Christian music doesn't have to be solved. You know what I'm saying?
Just kidding, you can like whatever you want.
Anyway, we were pulling up to the school, and I told my mom to turn the music down.
What? Why?
Because I don't want people to think I listen to this, Mom. You see, I was in junior high, so I cared a lot about what other people cared about. So she turned the music down, but as we stepped out of the car, she turned the volume all the way back up and blasted the music for everyone to hear.
Does Carrie Underwood count as Christian? I mean, I guess if she made Jesus take the wheel, brother.
Looking back at the situation, I think that's pretty hilarious. GG, Mom. These aren't all the times my mom embarrassed me, but those are all the ones I'm gonna include in this video.
I didn't even mention the time when I was 4 when my twin sister wanted to do ballet lessons, but she didn't want to do them alone, so my mom signed me up for lessons too. But that's a story for another video.
Love you, Mom. You made me like this.
All right, that's a boop of the like button right there. Homies, we're just getting started. How weird can our parents get? Oh, it gets weirder. We have a slapperino from one of my favorite animators, Jaiden Animations. Parent stories. I've been eyeing this one for so long as well. I've been wanting to watch this for so long. This is essential viewing. 37 mil, bro. 37 mil. We have to see this. And so here we are. Buckle in, friends. This is gonna be fun. 3, 2, 1. Parents. What can you say about parents? Their parents.
What can you say about Carlton? He was Carlton.
All right. Sorry. Let's go.
I, like many people, have parents. And even better, I think they're pretty good ones. My mom and dad have always wanted the best for me and my brother and didn't let us do stupid stuff like lean back too far in our chairs at the dinner table. So good job on not letting us be stupid, guys. Thumbs up, gold star.
Good job.
Well, I did lean back too far that one time, but I'll give you a pass on that one. And I learned my lesson. Everyone has some sort of guardian figure in their life, and I'm always going to be grateful I was able to grow up in a loving family with good parents. There's been ups and downs, arguments, disagreements, but when it all comes down to it, they're just looking out for me. Jaiden, tie your shoes before riding your bike.
What do you know?
Let's go.
I'm actually at a big
You didn't want to
step.
animate that? Fine. You ain't gotta animate everything.
I'm actually at a big step in my life right now because I'm moving out of their house. I'll finally be out of the nest, making my own choices. A free bird. If I want to have oatmeal for dinner, my family's not going to be there to walk in and look at me weird. I don't care about your oatmeal as a breakfast food. I like it and will eat it when I desire. Just watch me.
Yeah, there are foods that are... We're totally going off track. Who here eats breakfast foods for dinner? I've done it. I've done it before, but it still feels like breakfast, and it feels wrong. I feel like the only time I can eat breakfast foods for dinner is when it's not dinner. It's like way after. I can't eat breakfast foods in the second half of the day unless I'm up at like midnight or 1 a.m. or something. My brain has a hard time with that.
And will eat it when I desire. Just watch me. Moving out has made me think a lot about my life growing up and everything my parents have done for me to be able to get to this point. And even though I can totally make a heartfelt video about all the sacrifices they've made and nights they've spent caring for me, I'm gonna talk about funny, stupid stuff because that makes a better YouTube video.
Yay!
I'm on my own now. I got bills to pay. When I was little, I wasn't a picky eater. I'm pretty sure I ate most anything on my plate. Some kids are all, no, I do not like the taste of this mush and will not consume it no matter what you tell me. I will sit here with a pouty lip and arms crossed for all eternity in this high chair, and when I die of starvation, it will be your fault. Hun, just eat the friggin' carrots. Even though I wasn't a picky eater, my parents would always make up games to try and get me to eat stuff I still didn't like. One night we were all at the dinner table and my mom had the brilliant parent idea of saying, hey, how about we have a contest of who can eat the most green beans the quickest? Harmless, right? She was just thinking it would be an easy and sneaky way for us to get in more vegetables. But she underestimated my power. You dare challenge me? Not only will I win, but I will eat the most green beans you've ever seen anyone eat in their entire life.
Destroy them!
I ate so many green beans in such a short amount of time that night. I won, obviously, because everyone else was a scrub. But after dinner, I got really sick and my mom's plan kind of backfired. But I still won, so...
Okay, Jaiden, next time we'll do a competition. Who can eat the most normal amount of green beans? Who can have the most reasonable amount of green beans? Challenge.
But I still won, so... Besides the infamous green bean eating contest, which we never did again, my mom always had a who can make the loudest carrot crunch competition. I don't need to explain the rules, it's right in the name. My brother and I would go crazy over that contest. We didn't even think about how we were eating carrots. We just wanted to defeat everyone else. It wasn't until recently I was thinking about it and went, wait, did you make that contest just so we'd eat more carrots? Yeah.
Brilliant.
Betrayal. Even my mom's sister was tricky with my cousins and getting them to eat their vegetables. My mom told me stories about how when my cousin was just barely learning numbers and counting, they'd be eating dinner and she'd say to my aunt, Mommy, I don't want any more carrots. How about you just eat 3 more? How about 5?
Whoa.
Well, okay, fine.
What? How did you fall for that so easily? That's like so... What?
Just barely learning numbers and counting.
I don't want to do this thing. Okay, how about you do a bit of this thing? I'll do more. Don't think I won't. It's like, what? How foolish can you be, child? I would say that's natural selection, but you're eating your vegetables, so probably not.
Fine. Parents have become the masters of getting kids to eat vegetables, which is good. I applaud them for it. Nutrition is important, kids. Like, how many times has your mom just randomly baked you brownies as a kid? And how many times did you think about if there was broccoli in it? Ha! Gotcha, kiddo. You're getting so much vitamin C and K right now, you don't even know.
Never
if you didn't know about that, there's a way you can hide broccoli and brownies as an easy way to get kids to consume more nutrients without them fighting you because they only want to live off sugar.
That's amazing!
Brownies are good at hiding a lot of stuff, actually. Have you ever heard of black bean brownies? There's ways you can add black beans to brownies and no one will even know. Here's one.
That's amazing!
If you want. It's a good way to add protein to your diet because everyone's so obsessed with protein and for some reason society society thinks it's the only macronutrient we ever need, and carbs are the devil and will destroy your life and kill everyone you love, and that's a tangent for another video. So yeah, to people who didn't know, you can hide broccoli in brownies, black beans, some people try other herbs. Let's move on. I'm gonna tell this story because it's kind of stupid and doesn't matter, but I'm still a bit salty about this, so you'll probably get a kick out of it. Every kid has their thing growing up. Some liked dolls, some liked cars, some liked pushing other kids off the swings.
Of course.
I was all about stuffed animals. They were my
I was all
jam.
about pushing other kids off the swings. On that note, that was me. Yeah, the pushing the kids off the swing thing, that was me. Guys, I jumped off swings and collected stuffed animals. How fun is that?
They were my jam. Still kinda are. Anyway, one day I said, hey, I like stuffed animals, and I like Pokemon.
What about a stuffed Pokemon?
Mom, Blaziken plush! Oh my frig! Don't say frig. My mind was blown. Two of my favorite things combined together. Blaziken was, and is, my favorite Pokemon, so I was desperate to have this Blaziken Pokédoll. I was willing to wash the dishes, clean the house, make a deal with the Underlord, sell lemonade, and since my mom's such a pushover, and since my mom's so nice, she let me and my brother pick out a Pokédoll we each liked.
Man, I hate how those kind of jokes always get. I hate how susceptible I am to jokes like that. But yeah, I've seen Jaiden is really into that stuff. Yeah, Pokemon sent me all their plushies. Like, this must have been the best day of her life, honestly.
Since my mom's so nice, she let me and my brother pick out a Pokédoll we each liked. I, of course, picked out the Blaziken, and my brother got the Totodile one. And can we just stop and appreciate this Totodile, by the way?
That's pretty cute. That's pretty cute.
Let's continue. So my mom ordered the plushes, they were like 20 bucks or something, and we were pretty happy campers when they arrived. I loved that Blaziken doll for a really long time, but of course, as with most children and their toys, I started playing with it less after a while. I still liked it, but I gradually stopped bringing it everywhere and eventually just kept it in my closet. Maybe like a couple years ago, the memory of it just popped into my head and I wanted to look at it again. Yeah, I remember all the fun times I had with that doll. I'd take it everywhere I went, I'd fall asleep with it. Where'd it go? I don't remember where it would be. Mom, do you know where my old Blaziken Pokédoll went?
Oh, you know, I threw it away with the other trash. You what? You ain't gonna tell me that your mom put it in the trash. You ain't gonna tell me that.
Mom, do you know where my old Blaziken Pokédoll went? I can't find it. I got rid of it. You what? Sometime when my mom was going through all her stuff, she decided to get rid of my Blaziken Pokédoll without asking me. I was crushed. Well, that is a bit extreme. I went from having a normal day to...
Oh my gosh. That reminds me of the time... Oh, I might have to animate this story. Where I came home from school one day and all of the boxes for all of my PC games were gone. They were in the recycling bin, flattened. Because I had the discs in a CD case, so my mom was like, oh, it doesn't matter having the box. Mom, no! Should I include that in my parent stories animation when I make one? Let me know in the comments, okay? And also, if you're this far in the video and you haven't booped the like button, could you please do that? I've booped 3 like buttons today. You gotta catch up. Thank you, my friend. Let's continue.
I went from having a normal day to having a bit of a less good day. But then I thought, wait, I'm an adult. I can just find another one and buy it myself. I don't need my mom's permission anymore. So I looked on Google to try and find a new Blaziken Pokédoll, and apparently, now they're ultra rare collector's items that aren't even being sold anymore and freaking worth a crap ton of money. Now I'm having even less of a good day. Yeah, apparently these things are worth like more than $100 now, and everyone's desperate to have one, and we bought it when it was like $20. Mom, do you realize what you've done?
The gravity of what you have done.
It's become my goal. Someday I will have another Blaziken Pokédoll. 1, because I really like it. And 2, I'm not a collector of anything, but now this might seem a bit evil to people in the rare collectors community. I want to have as many rare Pokédolls as I can find, just because I'm not a collector.
And how long was that? 6 years ago. Jaiden was patient. She persevered. And now she has all of them. This is a full circle moment for the world. Very proud of you, Jaiden. Man, this is the weirdest game, bro. Croc 2 on the PS1. I played it on PC and the graphics were a lot better than this. But man, one of the weirdest platform games of all time. If you want gaming animations, you can let me know that. that too.
Just because I'm not a collector. I want to have all these Poké Dolls that are super rare, and then a collector is like, holy crap, you have this set of Hoenn Starter Evolution Poké Dolls?
Whoa.
Can I have them? And I can be like,
No.
no. Do you realize how rare these are? Collectors like me would pay anything to have them. I know, and that's why I want it.
All right.
I'm on a journey to get as many rare Poké Dolls as I can now. I think my target is Blaziken, Swampert, and Sceptile because it's the trio and they're my absolute favorite, and they're stupid rare. It's an evil plan, I know, but I think it's funny.
That is a very evil plan. Those were fun and silly stories. I really enjoyed that one. If you're watching this far, that means you have made it to the final little Slapperino. The grand finale. We are taking it up a notch. You thought this was just parent stories? Nuh-uh. We're leveling this up. Grandma stories. TimTom with my grandma Emma. Honestly, seems like a pretty wonderful grandma if you ask me. As far as I'm aware, this is a very special video to TimTom. And so let's check it out and make sure you show it some love after this. 3, 2, 1.
This story begins before I was born. The year is 1990, and a retired couple has just moved into a brand new home, only to discover, heavens to Betsy, it didn't come with any window blinds. So to make a little extra money, they decide to do some babysitting and put an ad in the newspaper. Back in my day, the internet came in the mail. Meanwhile, my mother was about to return to work after maternity leave. My brother and her brand new baby daughter, my sister, needed a daycare. My mom worked in sales at a greeting card company, so she spent a lot of time driving between stores to check what kinds of cards they were running out of. You know, happy birthday, sorry your grandma died, that sort of thing. But spending so much time in the car is not terribly fun. Me. So she started looking at various daycares, evaluating them, investigating if you will. You can't expect her to leave her brand new baby just anywhere. They'd be one of those used babies with a few scratches already, but the new ones need a screen protector at least.
Yeah. All right, there's a lot of information really quickly. Okay, I think I figured it out. Oh, I think Grandma Emma isn't his, biological grandma. What? I get it. Okay, I was like, how do these two stories, how do they intertwine? Okay, I'm getting it. I'm locked in. Let's go.
Screen protector at least. The first place Mom Tom visited was a licensed in-home daycare.
Okay.
The lady running the place warmly welcomed her in. She would have offered a place to sit if literally every surface wasn't piled high with papers, laundry, and various garbagey bits of garbage.
What?
The baby was crawling in a literal pile of dirt in the kitchen as a feral-looking dog stepped over him. Where did you get licensed? The back of a Walmart? In the words of
cereal
Lemongrab,
box?
It was not great. And almost every place she went to had the same vibe or wasn't open late enough. After weeks of searching, she
Look
had
at the
nothing.
paper.
Personally, I think the feral dog would have been a great
Look at the
babysitter, but what do I know? Eventually, she looked in the local newspaper where she found just one ad for childcare. We'll babysit in your home 2 kids. And
Let's
my
go.
mom was ecstatic.
Let's go!
Contain myself. Now, I don't remember this because I didn't exist yet, but she called the number and asked the lady about babysitting and if they could meet up. In the background, you could hear her shout, "Dad, are we going anywhere today?" No. I guess after years of raising their own kids, Harry and Emma had just gotten used to calling each other Dad and Mom.
Whoa, what? Man, that's how you know some parents were meant to be parents. If they're willing to just call each other Mom and Dad. There were a couple times where I'd be talking to my dad, and I'd be like, hey, could you ask Mom if, blah, 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 blah? And he's like, oh, yeah, Mom? I guess referring to that's the mom of the house. But my mom hated it. She's like, no, call me dear. I'm your wife. I'm not your mother. Mom, I think you kind of took it the wrong way.
Harry and Emma had just gotten used to calling each other Dad and Mom. They agreed to meet. So my mom dressed my sister up in the cutest pink dress she could find, hoping it would distract from her horns. And it worked. Emma would babysit, but just for a bit, until she made enough to get blinds. Well, a few months turned into a few years. My mom got married, and soon after, I was born. Emma was there to give me my first gift, a stuffed blue bear. Later, when I learned to talk, the only other bear I knew was Winnie the Pooh, so I called him Blue Pooh. But Emma wasn't having any of this new baby business. She told my mom, I can't watch another baby. You'll just have to find someone else. And find someone else she didn't. Unlike with my sister, this time her maternity leave ended the second we rolled out of the hospital. Wow. So if Emma wasn't gonna babysit me, I had no choice but to go to work. I may be only a week old, and I may be easily mistaken.
All right, TimTom. All right. All right, I didn't know I'd have to bust out the cap for this, but here we go.
Only a week old, and I may be easily mistaken for a weird little potato, but my country, nay, my mommy needs me.
Yeah.
My job was to sit in a comfy little stroller and sleep all day. A few days into Take Your Potato to Work month, a random lady came up and, without even asking, pulled the cover back on the stroller.
Oh, let me see your baby. Oh, well, I better go. I'm not feeling well.
What the shit? She just coughed in my little baby face. Needless to say, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. When Emma heard what happened, she said, well, you have no business taking that baby to work. You just leave him with me. Find someone else to look after him.
Bruh. Grandma, where was that energy? Where was that energy before? When we needed you? I guess we still need you, but where was that energy the first time?
And the way I like to tell the story is that's when she fell in love with me. A few weeks later, my mom still hadn't found anyone, and Emma goes, well, you just stop looking right now. You can find somebody when he's a little older. He doesn't need some stranger coming in here. For years, my mom would ask if she should find somebody else, and Emma would always say, you hush and leave that baby here. My Timbird needs me.
Wow.
And now I'm gonna skip a few things to when I was 5 years old. My mom was single and struggling to support 3 kids on her own. So when she met a charming and successful guy who promised to give her the moon and let her quit her job to focus on raising us, she married him, and we moved to a town that might as well have been on the moon, it was so far away.
Aww.
Emma was such a big part of my life. From the moment I could talk, I always just called her grandma. She was my grandma. So moving away was devastating. I remember leaving her house in tears.
Wow.
Grandma, it's so easy to come here, but it's so hard to go. Luckily, the guy my mom married turned out to be a total jerkwad.
Oh,
Before we moved into his
no.
house, he made us get rid of our dog. I know, that's bad enough, but there's more.
Oh, man. Well, hopefully this ends with you moving back to your hometown and being reunited with Grandma Emma. That's so interesting, though. Like, I don't want to get too deep and stuff right now, but just as an adult, I think of these things now. It's like, yeah, single parents. That is such a, like, big commitment that they have to make. When a single parent starts dating someone, that other person has to be cool with, like, everything else in their life. Like, I can't imagine. So I consider myself very lucky because my parents have been together my whole life. And so I never had to think about something like someone else coming in and deciding that like we shouldn't have a dog and stuff like that. I really feel for anyone who's in a situation like that. And shout out to all the single parents. But wow, just hearing that from TimTom's perspective as like a kid experiencing that is really interesting.
I know, that's bad enough, but there's more! When I was a kid, I was just bursting with affection. You're telling me this guy's my new dad? Hell yeah. One time I sat next to him on the couch and gave him a big hug. I love you, daddy. And he shoved me off the floor. I'm not your dad. And that's how I learned about emotional damage. One time, he told my sister to clean her room, and she did about as well as you'd expect a little kid, but she left some socks sticking out of the top of her dresser drawers. How terrible. Anyway, he thought that was a good excuse to unleash all of his pent-up rage. I remember hiding in my room and trying not to cry while I listened to him beat her. And I don't want to overstate it, because I know a lot of people had it worse. Like my sister. I just experienced a taste of trauma, and I turned out fine.
All right, well, nothing funny to say about that. I hope that Grandma Emma comes back into the equation here. Okay.
Experienced a taste of trauma, and I turned out fine. At some point, my mom looked through his browser history and found that he had been on a dating site talking to other women. His username was something like Handyman1234. Okay. But the way she handled it was ice cold. She used *67 so her number wouldn't come up on his caller ID, and when he answered, she used a really flirty voice.
Hi, handsome, guess who? Guess who? And then he's like, I am in serious danger right now if I don't know who I'm talking to. That's brilliant. That's a brilliant tactic. I hear that's how Andrew Huberman got into his situation. All right, that's an obscure one for any dads watching.
Hi, Andy.
That's the best I can do. Anyway, he laughed and asked who it was, and she said, I want a divorce. And with that, we moved back to a place just a few blocks away from Grandma Emma.
Yay!
We were gone for a year, but we made it home. I'm so lucky to have had her in my life. Emma taught me so many things, but I think the most important was that you don't have to be blood relatives to be family. I love you, Grandma.
Oh my word. All right, we're booping that right now. And if you ain't subbed to TimTom, what is wrong with you? That was really nice. Shout out Grandma Emma. Shout out. And you know what? Shout out all the parents out there.
Shout out to all the
If you're a parent and you watch my videos, I greatly appreciate you. And you have to be at least slightly cool if you're into my videos. I ain't trying to big myself up here. I'm just saying, when I meet parents who watch my videos with their kids or people who watch my videos with their parents, out of any sort of feedback that I get, genuinely, that's like my favorite thing in the world. And so I wanted to do a video about parent stories because parents are epic. Thank you for coming on this adventure with me. Make sure you are subscribed to all the animators that we looked at today. Their links will be in the description. And now, people, here is a video that YouTube thinks you will like. If you have not seen this video, YouTube's algorithm thinks that you'll like it, so check it out. Here's the time that we looked at animators' childhood fears. It was kind of a similar video to this in structure, so if you like this, check that out. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.